first thing I'll talk about is Family Guy and Simpsons. We got a lot of shows coming out right now for their debut for their season. Starting February 16th, season 23 of Family Guy will come out, followed by, of course, Grimmsburg at 8:30, and then you have the Great North coming out, and also Crapolopolis on that day. Crapolopolis just keeps moving, guys. I remember when I first heard about Crapolopolis, I'm like, is this really gonna fly? But it's doing so good, it keeps going. And then the following March 30th, you're gonna get The Simpsons debuting finally again for their 36th season, and then of course the Great North and Crapolopolis and Family Guy as well. So cartoons coming back. I love them so much. Keep these things going. They're so great. They predict. I mean, The Simpsons predicts the whole fucking future. They know everything. But also, it's always fun to see this comedy come back. It's great to have great staples for animation in there. They're not messing up The Neighborhood, but The Neighborhood is also coming back in a new spinoff. Everybody, if you've ever watched The Neighborhood, they're expanding now into a further different spinoff, or a second spinoff now, based off the big CBS hit comedy series starring Cedric the Entertainer. Now, this will serve as a planted spinoff in the last episode with Marcel Spears and Sean McKinney, and it will follow Marty and Malcolm as they embark on new adventures, finally leaving their parents' nest to start a new chapter of their lives, find themselves and new coming neighborhood that's both close yet far apart, Venice Beach. And of course, the show takes place in like Pasadena, so they're not that far apart. They're not that far apart. But it's good to see that they're going to keep doing this again. It's fun. I mean, I've watched some of The Neighborhood. I've had some friends actually worked out and I love it so much. I've watched episodes here and there. It's fun. It's it's been around for like, this is the 7th season out right now. So I mean, they've been doing it for a long time, and good for them to keep going. If people love it, keep it going. That's what I keep saying. Keep it going. Doing great, but also doing great now too is Gladiator II, which is officially on Paramount Plus now. If you can't see it in theaters, you can actually check it out officially on Paramount Plus. Ridley Scott's epic Gladiator II. It grossed $455 million, and all these big noms been for 2 Golden Globe noms, 4 Critics' Choice noms, 3 BAFTA Film Awards, and a SAG Award nominations come in too. So everybody's loving it. I thought it was a great movie. Really did a good job with it. I think what they did with it felt like it was in that same genre as the OG, but expanding upon the universe and set up for a third one. So hopefully it's great. But another period piece that everyone's talking about these days is American Primeval. I don't even say that. American Primeval. I don't even say that. I'm gonna give myself one of these. I want to say Primeval too, but I guess so, yeah. But I've started watching, so everybody was talking about Western miniseries on Netflix. Right now, the most watched TV series in the streamer in the last week had 14.3 million views from January 13th to 19th, and now in totality, it has had over 24.7 million views. So the numbers keep going up for this too. People are loving this show. It's gritty, it's gruesome, it's intense. The first episode is like, I started watching it because it's only like 7 episodes. I think I'm 4 episodes in. It's a lot to swallow, but it is delving into that old Western front type genre. It's one of the best Westerns I've seen in a long time. It really is. And again, it's just trying to get across the old terrain with all the Native Americans, and then the fight with the Mormons and the U.S. government and everybody in between. So it's very fascinating. Murder, and of course, people again have warrants out for people. It's really cool. It's really fascinating. If you haven't checked it out, it's bloody, it's gory, it's interesting. I like it. It's not like Substance gory. That was crazy. I just watched the Substance, guys. That was freaking super gory. I'll talk about that later, but that was a lot. The animals were CGI, Queen. What animals are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Lion King? Oh, Gladiator 2. Oh, they didn't have scenes.
The Gladiator.
Yeah, they did have CG lions. Everybody likes CG lions, right? And CG monkeys in there too. But I still enjoyed it, Queen. I think it was still good. Give it a shot, Queen. Give it a shot. Unlike Alec Baldwin, don't give it a shot. Alec Baldwin's back in the news for us. That was probably a bad transition. But the indie western Rust has been revealed now. They've been having some little in Poland. They had a debut for it. It's been shown. They did a big monument. It was a big thing for Elena Hutchinson over the whole actual debut of it. Of course, she lost her life in the production, but now they've been trying to find domestic distribution, but nobody wants to pick it up. So nobody's picking it up right now. Still can't find 2 months after it's been done. They've been pitching it. No one wants to bring it to the States because of all the controversy. Straight to DVD or streaming. I mean, physical media, probably streaming straight to like one of the platforms. I'm guessing it'll be, I'm gonna say Prime, straight to Prime Video. I don't think you'll ever see a theatrical debut for this, but we'll have to wait and find out, guys. But again, he was probably hoping for it, Bolden, after all this stuff, but doesn't sound like that's going to happen. But you know what's rusting away is that Silo, guys. Have you guys watched Silo? If you haven't watched Silo, come on, guys, tell me if you have. You haven't. I love Silo. The third season, or the second season's out. The third and fourth season have been picked up. They're already shooting season 3 right now. They got season 4 written. They plan to shoot season 3 and 4 back to back, and then the whole show will be done. And Rebecca Ferguson's coming back to the last 2 seasons. They're gonna take a 3-month hiatus between season 3 and 4 in production. Then they'll be done with it. But they teased the next season, the very last scene of this new season. Ashley Zuckerman and Jessica Henwick came in. They will be debuting. They debuted in the episode, but they will be in the whole next season as principal players. They're coming back to be like main event players. I call main players. They're definitely main cast. And I like to say main event players. It's always fun for me. But the Apple TV Plus series is moving forward based off the Wolves series. Again, about a bunch of people trapped in a bunker after post-apocalyptic situation went down. They've been there for hundreds of years. They want to get out. They don't know if it's clean outside, if it's not. Can they actually breathe or not? There's a lot of controversies and conspiracy theories inside the silo. It's a really fascinating show. And I really enjoy it so much. But the next season, these characters coming back, and we're going to see some more of the what happened before they were in the silo, which I think is really fascinating. I think it's just a lot of fun. Wouldn't watch Russ if they pay me. He said, yeah, I get that too, man. I think a lot of people are going to boycott that. But I think people should watch this. If you haven't checked out Silo, please check it out, because I'm fascinated by it. I love it so much. I really am. It just keeps doing great. Unlike this Baldoni Blake Lively situation, keeps blowing up more, but Baldoni released a tape. I don't know if you guys saw this. Released a tape of the whole BTS of shooting of the whole dance sequence in the movie. Now, there's this whole sequence. It's all slow motion in the movie. Well, this happens when you shoot stuff like this. Normally, there's you don't record dialogue because it's slow motion, so the actors will still talk and they'll still interact as if they are shooting dialogue, because it still shows it in the scene, right? And so you get to see their interaction as director, actor kind of situation. They're joking and they're going back and forth. Some of the scenes, like, hopefully I'm not getting my spray tan on you, and then she's laughing about that, and he's like whispering in her ear and like, you know, nibbling on her neck and stuff like that, which is like what would be happening in that scene. And so he came forward and said, this is going to be actual footage to prove that she's wrong. Like, she's joking, she gets it. Her team came forward and said, no, this absolutely showcases this was harassment, which again, I'm like, because he was like whispering in her ear and stuff like that. That's, I mean, you're acting, you're in the scene acting. You're going to be doing that stuff if you ask me. But her team said that every frame of the release corresponds to the letter that Miss Lively described in paragraph 40 of her complaint. The video shows Mr. Baldoni repeatedly leaning in towards Miss Lively, attempting to kiss her, kissing her forehead, rubbing his face and mouth against her neck, flicking her lip with his thumb, caressing her, telling her how good she smells, and which is talking completely out of character. The character would be saying that. It's a fine line, guys. This is one of those things that kind of blow my mind. I'm starting to lean towards him, guys. I'm not trying to say that girls, if they feel harassed, they shouldn't speak up. You should speak up. But this is like what you're doing. You're acting in the scene. Camera's rolling. They're saying background action. You're acting. You have to act in the scene. Even though it's slow motion, there's no dialogue recorded. This is insinuating. It has to happen. But her people are saying this, honestly, proving that he was harassing her. It's a lot. They're involved. It's a big harassment case. We're going to see where this goes. She's going after him. It's $400 million right now that he's charged, or he's going for her for defamation. She's firing back. You watch the footage. It's like 15 minutes long or something. If you watch the footage, you see that's what happens on set. So to me personally, I just don't see this being a smoking gun for her. It does feel like it's like we're doing the work, we're doing the job. And this is what you do. We're acting. So, I mean, we'll see how it blows out. We will. But that keeps going up and blowing up. And you know what else is blowing up is, of course, the Netflix fees, because Netflix has raised their prices again, everybody, because they can't stop, won't stop. They're paying WWE now, so they need to make more money. So started yesterday, they actually raised the prices. Now their ad tier will cost $7.99 a month. It was usually $6.99. The premium tier will go up to $24.99, and then the standard plan with ads is going to go up to $17.99. $2 raise on standard and $2 on premium and $1 on the ads. Well, that's what they're saying. Emma Peel. She's trying to say that he was. That she was being harassed by him. He was talking inappropriately to her. He was asking her about her weight. and he was being insensitive to her on set without a coordinator, a intimacy coordinator on set. But this scene, if you watch the scene, it seems like, if you ask me, I've been on a bunch of productions. It seems like they're acting in this scene, but they're still talking like they would like about things on set. But you're acting, which you have to act in the scene. You're acting in the scene. There's no dialogue. It's called MOS, so there's no dialogue, and so you still have to pretend like that dialogue counts. So, which is why this situation is kind of a lot to me. But I mean, we'll see. Well, it might blow up. We'll talk more about that. But Netflix is raising their prices, and they also want to do full-time sports guys too. That's a whole thing that Ted Sardanos came forward and said that they want to. They've had some live sports. They've WWE, of course, I just said before that. But now they're actually interested, if it works out with both parties, maybe doing full seasons of football games or basketball games or baseball games on Netflix. I don't know if their bandwidth can handle it, but we'll have to wait and find out. But Netflix wants to do that, so good luck to them. And also, good luck, because they have a lot of drama behind them. They do with, of course, raising price. People are upset about that. But someone else is upset in the news right now is Jimon Hansoon. Okay, now Jimoon came forward and he was talking about his pay in Hollywood. Now, if you've seen him before, which I know I've seen him in a million things, you probably have before too. Now, Blood Diamond was one back in the day. Recently, if you think about it, he was in the new Shazam movie, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. But he came forward and said that he's struggling to make a living as an actor, despite receiving critical acclaim, awards, attention in films, big and small. He says he's still struggling to make a living. He's hard to make a dollar. He's been in many blockbuster films. Yes, I'm struggling financially. I'm definitely underpaid. And he went into the whole thing about being like diversity. Sometimes he gets underpaid. People don't know who he is, even though he's so well known, and that he always gets undercut on his wages. And it's like, this guy's been nominated for multiple Golden Globes, Oscars. He's had a career. Like, for me, it feels like the wrong time to kind of say that. So people are not working that much as it is. There's a lot of actors underpaid. There's a lot of actors that can't get jobs in Hollywood. There's a lot of actors that don't even have a name for themselves. There's a lot of actors that can't find can't find representation. There's a lot of actors that can't have health insurance, and you're complaining about, probably a millionaire himself, about not making enough money. Man, I know it's hard. It's hard to be a fucking actor. Let me say, it's hard to be a fucking actor. But there are people that are lower than you that have also haven't had no jobs this year. It just seems tone deaf. Read the room right now, man. I appreciate his work. I think he's a great actor, but I appreciate being upset about your career, but think about what's happening in the world right now and how people are not working and how the union fucking sucks right now because there's no jobs and people are upset. Think about that before you come forward and say, I'm not rich enough. And, I can go on and off by that, but I would say it just kind of blows my mind. And Trevor Noah is also hosting the Grammys, guys, because, of course, he's been doing it for the past 3 years and he's a producer and we kind of knew it was happening, but he just announced that he's hosting the 67th annual Grammys. So good for him, man. He's going to keep doing that probably until he's old and gray. And you know what? Why not? He's great. So a lot of breaking news, everybody. A lot of breaking news. People can say that's the problem too. I probably butchered his name too, Jimon, and I try to phonetically spell it out too. But he's a great actor. So if he's getting paid, talk to your agent about this. Don't blast it on social media, on the news, or in interviews, because you're just gonna sound like you're a freaking asshole, man. Even though he's probably a great person, but it's like honestly, a lot of people are not getting paid these days. There's a lot less jobs right now in Hollywood, and it's hard for everybody. It could be hard for him too, but there's a lot of people that are not making any money. But I don't know. A lot of breaking news.
I kind of feel like that's a good reason for him to say something, though, because I think if people see that even the bigger name actors are struggling, they should be able to kind of port that to the people who are further downstream from him also. If this guy who's been nominated for Oscars and has been in a ton of shit is struggling, then imagine what the lower the non name recognition people are going through. I think it's the same as when we talk about the union strikes. People are always put a target on Tom Cruise's back or whatever. It's oh, he doesn't need to strike. He's making $1 billion, but it's the lower paid actors need those people in the union also to just be hey, we stand in solidarity with everybody. So I don't know. That's my read on the Jaimin Hansu. I'm not pronouncing it correctly either. But that's my read on the situation is that I think that this is good for solidarity for him to say something. So
you're right. It really could be.
I also just Googled it quick. According to Google, which, take this with a grain of salt, who knows what Google is accurate. His net worth is somewhere between $2 and $4 million, which is significantly lower than you'd expect an actor who's got 2 Oscar nominations that's been at a high level for 30 years. So Yeah.
Yeah, that's true,
To
Trev.
have a $2 to $4 million net worth. I'm really feeling for him. You know,
It's a good point, though. I mean, I get it. Like, it is true. Like, it could be a thing where it's like he could maybe raise some more eyebrows for people too. You know, it might help. It might help people. So I get what Trevor's saying. It could, but it's just like a situation like that. A lot of people have been like raising their eyebrows to it. I'm shocked that he's like complaining about not making enough money, but maybe that is still happening. You know, because the producers have been undercutting people constantly. You know, just keep constantly undercutting people. So it just happens.
I tried to let you down easily by telling you I found you disgusting.
Okay, Dave, that's a good way to say it to me when you haven't been here all night. Thank you, Dave, for being here. Appreciate you. But a lot of breaking news, everybody.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.